I was searching for something that I don't think had any fucking thing to do with toilets.
He was right. I was looking for something else entirely. A podcast. Video game.
It's September 24th, 2009.
And this is Idle Thumbs 44. And I'm Chris Remo.
And I'm Jake Rodkin.
And by popular demand, and because Nick is out of town, we have Steve, Hot Scoops Gaynor, our favorite dude.
Hey, Scoops.
I'll assume it was mostly the first one.
Probably mainly that. Yeah. We actually have had numerous people ask when you will return.
When's there a song? Bring back Hot Scoops. So
in that order. Well, I'm here, and I've brought my guitar.
Nice.
Or I haven't, but I am here. This is going to be an exciting episode of Idle Thumbs video game web podcast.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being here, Scoops. Good times.
What's up?
Not much. How's it going with you? You're making a BioShock 2.
Yeah.
Still doing that?
Yeah, I'm it's not done yet, but it will be.
Sweet.
Yeah. Our release date got announced
coming out in February.
Like yeah, I think February 9th is like ship date. So that's pretty exciting to know when people are going to get to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are going well.
Good times.
Cool.
How's things at the Gama Sutra News Network?
Not very interesting for this podcast. We post a lot of news.
Oh, wow. About what?
The video game industry and video games.
Yeah, that wouldn't be appropriate for this podcast.
No, that's true.
No.
It's completely off topic.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? Before we begin the real thing, I want to mention that the Resident Evil 5 stuff we talked about last week, we actually put that up on our website at idlethumbs.net in a post there. It's a couple days old at this point.
Yeah, so if you want to watch Refrigerator Man, go and blow dudes away.
Yeah.
And then hide behind a corner.
There it is. It turned out pretty well. So that's that. Cool. I was playing Halo ODST today. That came out this week. I went and picked it up. I picked up that in Scribblenauts, actually. And
but you played Halo instead of Scribblenauts.
Well, I played Scribblenauts on the bus, and then I played Halo in the house.
I hear the T in that Halo is really odious.
It is. It's quite an odious tea.
Oh, Odious Tea.
See what I did? All right. So how's the game?
Which one?
Everybody expects us to talk about Scribblenauts because,
that's
gamers
true.
love Scribblenauts.
So let's talk about Halo.
Yeah.
Throwing a curveball.
Oh. So I heard that you play as Master Chief in this Halo game.
Wait a second, Jake. I heard that you don't play as Master Chief in this Halo game. Chris?
Had Master Chief been here? Or Vinny Three Fingers? Joey Calzone? Salacious Crumb? Video games? Or was it someone else?
So I heard that you play as Master Chief in this Halo game. So we came in and you were playing Halo ODST.
I noticed it had a silenced pistol in it.
It did.
I noticed that Master Chief was replaced with the new playable character Odious Tea.
It's an abbreviation for his name.
For Odious?
Yeah.
Well,
Octavius.
Yeah.
David.
Odious Tea sounds like a Star Wars character from the new trilogy.
It's like a rap name though as well.
You mean like if it were a word spelled out?
Yeah.
It totally does. Yeah.
Also, it might just be a smelly shirt.
Odious Trent.
Or a drink, a tea drink that smells really bad. What isn't that? I think what I'm actually thinking of is a little rat muppet that hung out with Jabba the Hutt.
Salacious Crumb.
Very good.
Yes.
Pretty much ODST. His name probably includes those letters.
Salacious Crumb. So he's actually Salacious Crumb is the controllable character in Halo.
I was
Salacious
surprised.
Crumb. Yeah, it's weird.
It plays pretty much like Master Chief, but it's weird when you go into those third-person segments.
He's got that crazy laugh, and he sort of jumps up on the ceiling every now and then.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
wiggles
douche.
around and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Wait,
interesting gameplay mechanics, though.
What did I? Oh,
I said he was a douche.
Yeah. What? He eats C-3PO's eyeball.
See if you can get another one.
I guess. Anyway.
So you play as that guy.
Yeah, so that was pretty good.
That's an interesting direction for
it was surprising
Bungie to take the series.
Now that they're free from Microsoft, like who knows what those guys will do.
An unlicensed Star Wars puppet as the controllable character. Bold, Bungie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you liking the video game?
Mike.
What?
They're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
It's true. Envelopes are all over the place.
I noticed you had the same sniper rifle, but a different pistol, and the pistol was very quiet.
Yeah, you have a silenced pistol. You play one of a bunch of dudes in this game. Like it's actually interesting.
Like Call of Duty-ish, where you
it's sort of like Call of Duty. Yeah. It's odd in terms of simultaneously how similar it is to Halo 3 or another Halo game, as well as how many ways it's different. I suspect there will be a lot of people who are equally annoyed by both of those things, because they both have things to be annoyed about. I don't know, like the.
Isn't the official title Halo 3?
Yeah.
So that mean so that it is literally like an expansion pack, right?
Yeah, but it's a standalone $60 game, so
right.
It's like Halo 3 2, but it's not that either because it's not a sequel.
Yeah.
It's It's
like a full length expansion.
It's like
pack,
it's almost
like,
a spin-off game or something. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to classify
a Halo episode, but it's not.
But it's
unclassifiable. It can't be pinned down.
Except that it is basically just like more Halo. I mean,
right.
It's I don't know. It's weird. It's
why didn't they just call it that?
More Halo,
Halo
from
3,
Bungie.
more Halo.
Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out like entirely what I think about it.
Have you played it co-op yet or anything?
I actually haven't, no, but I will. It's the same co-op implementation as other Halo games, which is just another dude in there that's not, you know what I mean? I mean, there's nothing that like meaningfully changes as far as the.
It's just you hang out with your buddy while playing through it,
right? Yeah,
and also he shoots a guy as well.
Yeah, which is fine. It's fun,
but as Jabba in co-op actually,
right?
So.
Strange that they didn't change the mechanics for those two guys. But I mean, I pretty much know how that plays because the combat is more Halo combat. I mean, that's basically what I was getting at earlier when I was talking about things that are the same. I mean, it is like you fight more of pretty much the same guys with most of the same weapons and, same basic underlying mechanics. Except that your guy actually has a health bar instead of recharging health, and instead of like an explicit shield, you have a
stamina bar.
It's not a bar though. It's like this sort of like ambient thing where the screen gets red.
Yeah, like a stamina presence.
Right. And then it fades away and your guy's fine again.
Like a ghost.
But a stamina Gears of War health.
Right, except the health itself is actually discrete health. Like you do actually need to go pick up health packs. It does make it quite different to the recent Halo games because...
Yeah, well, I mean, is it basically like when your stamina runs out, you start to lose off of your health bar, and then you have to replenish the health bar intentionally?
Right.
Yeah.
And it does change the combat to some extent. I mean, not enough that it feels like combat from a different game or something. It just means you have to be a little more careful. I mean, I'm playing on Heroic right now, which is the second highest difficulty level, which is usually what I start out, with on a Halo game. I suspect that playing it in Legendary, which is the hardest one, that health mechanic probably affects it.
Yeah.
A more considerable amount. I don't know. It's nice to just come back to Halo and play more Halo combat. I don't know. I mean, you guys probably aren't super into Halo, but I think Halo has some of the best first person combat really in any shooter. I don't know. I think
Steve, you walked in and the first thing you said when you saw it on the screen was, "Hey, that looks like you can actually control this game on a console," which was funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that wasn't my exact quote, but I
was paraphrasing. And
just from watching, I was impressed with how precise and fluid the aiming look. I don't remember, it's been too long since I played Halo 3, but I don't remember if it looked like there was an improvement there with the new one, like if they had refined the controls at all. Do you think they have?
I don't know, it's hard to tell. I've seen a lot of like really intricate comparisons people have made on the internet in terms of how the characters from ODST compare to Master Chief in terms of their weight and strength and all that stuff, and I honestly have
doing
not
a lot of that on the internet.
Surprisingly so.
And you've been watching the comparison videos?
No, I don't know if there are videos. There probably are.
They're like articles?
Well, people, I'm more mean just on forums.
Like a forum post?
Just people commenting.
Okay.
But
it didn't look like you jumped as high.
Yeah, you don't jump quite as high. You don't throw grenades quite
It
as
doesn't
far.
look like
But
you were moon jumping as much.
Right.
Kind of like, woo!
you still, though, jump more than any human would. So
Right.
it kind of
Yeah,
feels essentially the same to me.
Yeah. It's supposed to be kind of floaty, right? Like you kind of
Right.
can aim better when you're landing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but as far
Halo
as
3
like
floater.
really specific tuning changes in the controls, I don't know. It's also been long enough since I played Halo 3 that I don't remember. But I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that with the Halo series in general, it's kind of like last week when I was talking about Call of Duty 4, or in that case, Modern Warfare 2. Those really are the two series that I am able to control on a console pretty well, and I really have trouble with a lot of shooters on consoles.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about Left 4 Dead, I think a few weeks ago now at this point.
Yeah.
And that is one that I find really difficult to control on a controller with a controller. But
Yeah,
as a controller.
exactly, as a controller
in
with a
respect
controller.
to a controller. I Left 4 Dead I played the vast majority of my time playing it has been on a console, and I felt like I got used to it pretty quickly because I played the demo on PC first
Mhm.
and got used to it and
Mhm.
a little bit, and then I started playing on console, and it was kind of there was an obvious difference, but
Right.
yeah, I felt like they made it work. It might maybe just has a little bit more of a
Oh yeah, no, I
learning
mean,
curve, or
Also,
and
that game is probably the
acclimation
strongest
curve.
Valve game in terms of playability on a console, I think.
yeah.
yeah.
They're probably just continually getting better at that.
And there are obviously a lot of people who aren't me who are just way better at playing a shooter on a console.
Right, there's 1,000 eye rolls occurring.
Right.
now.
Yeah, exactly. I just mean like it's definitely been my experience that Bungie has done an extremely good job just tuning those mechanics to a very, very fine point. But I guess to talk about ODST a little more broadly,
I only hear that as ODST now.
as opposed to what?
Now
ODST.
Oh yeah, well,
now all of our listeners do as well.
I know. I can't stop thinking about.
the ODST.
And it's
Yeah.
it's the opposite way too. Next time one of our listeners is drinking some Odious tea, they aren't going to be able to think about anything but Halo.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry, guys.
It was
And
really weird. I
ladies.
was talking to some
Humans.
Bungie person, I don't know, a month or two back or something, and he was saying like it was actually a marketing decision that changed it from Halo 3 Recon to Halo 3 ODST, which sort of blew my mind because I had no goddamn idea what an ODST was,
Yeah.
and I can't imagine how that's easier for anyone to.
It is definitely a more unique thing.
Yeah,
I guess that's
'Cause
true.
You can just say, yeah, I don't know. If you say ODST, people know what you're talking about, whereas otherwise you'd have to say Halo 3 Recon.
That's
Yeah.
true. I
People
mean, I
are just
guess
going to refer to
it
this
is
as
like
ODST now on the internet and
That's true.
everywhere.
It is its own brand.
yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying, "Hey, I was playing some Recon." You were doing what? Playing
Oh, I meant Ghost
Yeah.
Recon Advanced Warfighter.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Growl.
Yeah.
Yeah. They probably just felt like they had big enough mindshare that people would be more accepting of a weird subtitle like that. You know, they're going to be talking about it anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
About ODST.
But it's interesting. You play as one of these sort of less ridiculous trooper characters, or less powerful trooper characters, and the game is structured around a hub world or like a hub map that sort of gradually opens up over the course of the game. You keep
Yeah.
coming back to it, and from that map you come across little objects and clues to what happened in this destroyed city. And every time you find one, you jump back. You have sort of a flashback into another character that had some experience either there in the city or somewhere else entirely. And I don't know. The idea is that you're supposed to. It's sort of supposed to be like you're like a film noir detective solving a mystery or something.
Is that who you actually play as?
Well, I just mean like in
play as Rock Flanagan Ti.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's a little weird in that your character does find like a sort of sniper rifle hanging somewhere, and then I guess the idea is supposed to be from that. Yeah, he pieces together like this elaborate battle scenario because it is sort of painted that way.
And then he killed 4 dudes. Then he was killed, but then he went back in time
Right.
and killed 8
Right.
dudes.
It's like it's weird because there's
You guys
there's
never
guns
talked about
like
anything like that before.
there's like
Yeah,
guns and
very
wreckage
same brain.
absolutely everywhere, like all over the entire city, and then your guy's able to like.
Well, he's a tracker.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the implication would have to be there was some kind of psychic bond or some shit.
Yeah,
right?
there's definitely no sort of implication
He's
of that.
just that good.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, you are that good because you are him in Halo ODST.
Nice.
I know. You are Salacious Crumb, PI.
This game is just sounding better and better.
It's weird. It's a weird one.
Yeah.
But
you
it's
can just do whatever they want these days.
and then throughout the city, I guess Nick's not here to take a dump on audio logs, but there are, in addition to these like actually
drop an audio log.
he can drop an audio log all over my face.
Jesus, dude.
In addition to the actual clues themselves, there are optional audio logs that are.
So Nick hates them?
Well, Nick in general, I think, is just sick of audio logs. He declared last week. It's weird. They're less the audio logs that have been in games like BioShock, for example, or more recently Batman. They're actually like full on like radio dramas. It's really weird with like lots of several characters in them and like lots of sound effects.
Yeah.
Who left these audio logs behind?
The idea is that the whole city is or was controlled by this sort of
like audio log
recording
by
device,
a like theatrical repertory theater that kind of tromped around and
yeah, it was in the middle of a big huge performance art festival, actually.
Right.
Sort of experimental
Installation,
yeah.
Salacious Crumb PI explores the wreckage of Theater Town, USA.
It's actually it was the band from Jabba's Palace. They go around and reenact famous Halo battles, and then you find them in a city. It's a weird game.
Halo battle.
Yeah, I don't know.
So is this on the Halo world, or I don't even know?
It's on
enough
Earth.
About
It
Halo
takes
to
place
know
on Earth.
anything.
But yeah, the idea is that the city is controlled by this AI called the Superintendent. That I guess like there's a single character that these audio logs all center around, and she like I guess has some kind of like link into this city AI thing. And I mean, I think the idea is that
It's been recording her or something.
yeah, like she her father's like an important person in the administration or whatever, and I guess she has surveillance stuff. I don't know.
All right,
I mean,
whatever. I get it. I understand now what is happening in ODST.
But they're weird. I don't. I can't.
Do you like listening to them?
See, I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I kind of the whole
Are
thing
they like
about
really long?
They're actually fairly long. But one interesting thing about ODST in general is that like I've always felt that
his later work was
The Orange album just didn't really stand up. So.
The Halo series in general, I always find the sort of the story and the cutscenes and the characters to be very, very sort of straight and very, I don't know, kind of boring.
Seriously.
Like, I mean, it's just, I don't usually get very invested in what's going on. ODST is interesting because they, in almost all aspects of sort of production as it relates to characters, from like texturing to animation to voice work and everything, they've gone with a much more almost exaggerated style. I mean, it's clearly a deliberate thing where the characters they look less like they're slightly more exaggeratedly proportioned, and the voice acting's a little more deliberately animated, and the way they move is slightly the tiniest bit more cartoonish.
Is
like
it good that they're doing that?
Do you love it?
I don't know. I really honestly can't decide. Like I'm thinking about it, and I more find it interesting that they're doing that in this game, especially as kind of like a spin-off game of a sort of mainline Halo game. I sort of enjoy it more in that, I mean, I guess I just before found a lot of that stuff really bland. Yeah. So, I mean, they've got...
So now when like anvils are flying and hitting guys.
Right. No, I mean, I don't want to give the impression that it's like fundamentally different, but there definitely is a change in direction. You know what I mean? Like there must have been someone who directed people to do this, because it definitely, there is
possibly some sort of art director.
Right.
I mean, I'm just talking out of my ass. Who knows?
I don't know. It's
maybe not.
It is a few degrees off,
be real.
And it is like there's an audio log of a like 300-pound overweight kebab salesman in this like the city it takes place in is an African city, and like what? There is just, and he's you've got to eat if you're going to escape the city, and it's like, what? This is a Halo game. This is hilarious.
It sounds pretty good.
It's kind of cool in that It is sort of getting a little bit more to the kind of Bungie sort of sense of humor that has been, I think, somewhat.
Did they
like
when?
I don't know.
They used to
Bungie as a
have
company has always, Bungie as a company has always, their sort of outward face has always been one that's very tongue in cheek and very kind of jokey with their fans and like.
You mean like on their website and stuff?
On their website, yeah, and even in a lot of their games. I mean, stuff like Myth is.
Their older games used to be a little more flip.
Yeah.
And I mean, and there's things like Pimps at Sea.
Yeah. They have a lot of
real?
just. It's
every April 1st, it's a real game.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I mean,
their older catalog, Pimps at Sea, the Myth series.
They do have. There are the little whatever grunts that. Have
and those guys are pretty goofy. Yeah.
They roll around and
stuff.
And
in Halo 3, they had a skull sort of unlockable option that when you shot those guys, they would explode into confetti and you'd go yay, which is pretty great. I mean, stuff like that sneaks through in their games. I mean, I don't think of them as sort of taking themselves super seriously. The Halo games, to me, the stories are generally pretty bland.
But the ODST spin-off, once they sort of lose the Halo 3 moniker and ODST becomes its own series, and then that ends up getting a spin-off.
That just ends up...
That's going to be just like a weird, Toontown. Right, just toon-shaded people just leaping off of out-of-control trolley cars.
Yeah,
and
somebody drawing a train tunnel on a wall and then a train comes out and runs over another guy.
And in that game, you actually are Salacious Crumb.
Nice.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
That's ODST Recon.
Nice.
Approved.
In Halo... other ones, you're the Master Chief and you've got your little squad mate buddy guys and they're always running around barking out reloading and taking cover and all this shit.
This time
your actual character says all that shit, which I think is really hilarious because it's not useful to you as a player at all. It's
in the world of Halo,
just
that guy. Well, if you're sort of a military guy or a police officer, you probably say reloading when you reload. In Halo.
And while your main character that explores the central hub world is boring as shit, some of the sub characters are sort of interesting in that they try to flesh them out as sort of the one who's more experienced or less experienced. The one who's less experienced, when he busts out his rocket launcher, he's immediately like, "Oh yeah, here we go." And when he actually scores a kill, he's more animated about it. I mean, they did try to take more of a tack of distinguishing these characters.
So he's like the kid.
Yeah,
he's the rookie.
You got to use them.
You got a lot to learn
to kill the tank. But I am starting to get a little worn out on going back to the sort of central. Been doing it again and again.
There's just been too much Smokey Sax and
right. You know what?
Taking notes.
There actually is Smokey Sax in this game. I have to give Marty O'Donnell credit for the music in this game in some sections because there is some stuff that's extremely against type for a sci-fi shooter. I mean, there is some weird, smoky, film noir jazz type stuff in there that's really surprising.
Is that when you're detecting?
Yeah, it's when you're just walking around this world, even when combat is going on there, which is really interesting. It's
man, that's just that's a weird 80s movie.
Yeah, it is. It's super 80s. It's really fascinating to me. Unfortunately, there are still, especially in the flashback, mainly in the flashback sequences, just the most obnoxious, repetitive, horrible butt rock imaginable. Just you know what I'm talking about?
Just
did it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is terrible. I mean,
it pumps you up.
The contrast between that and the other stuff makes it all the worse. It's really. But there is
best recent example of that I can think of is near the end of Fear 2.
Oh yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. Of course.
I played it all. Did you play through it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah. So kind of pretty close to the end. You come out of a sewer and there's some bad mans there or whatever, and you have one of your squad mates and he's like the dude who's kind of the jarhead guy who's pumped up about combat or whatever, but he hasn't really shown it up to this point, hardly at all.
Right.
And then
he found himself in
and then you fight through some guys and you get on a turret, and as you're just mowing down dudes with an explosive shell turret, it just starts this new metal rap rock starts playing in the background, and the guy's like, hell yeah, bring it on. Yeah. Fuck, did you see that? And it's
pretty
really,
obnoxious,
really weird.
Yeah,
and out of nowhere, and
the tonal shift in that game from the first 20 minutes to the end is amazing.
Yeah,
it's pretty astonishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Halo 3 ODST unfortunately features basically that same music. I mean, that's just all the same. It's one chord.
Yeah,
that's just bidip.
Yeah, they attempted to
do that again.
License
bidip.
They wanted to license "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," but
right.
it was taken, so they just recreated the experience.
They just
sonically.
added cellos for the Halo version because they do that.
Hopefully they also add that frog sound that you keep doing.
Weird. The clue in that level is a frog. Where's that coming from?
I think it's some sweet guitar. I think it's a frog.
No, it's got to be guitar. It's got to be. Maybe you're right. But yeah, the
inner monologue in ODST is crazy.
It's weird.
It's just two Halo dudes like trying to go to sleep in a tent. They're camping out. They just hear that
Right.
like out in the woods.
Oh no, someone's actually experiencing a flashback over there to a clue.
Nice.
Well, then it probably is a guitar then.
Oh yeah.
But
so you like it? You love it?
Well, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because
cool.
I really, really do like just fighting guys in Halo.
Yeah.
It's
maybe we should play some co-op of it later.
Yeah, we could do that.
All
we could do that with a video game.
What else has been going on?
I had to find out what else was going on. The trail was as cold as the doorknob of a whorehouse on Christmas. And I was hungry.
I saw Sid Meier in person once in my office. Because both of our studios are owned by Take-Two. He was near my desk checking his iPhone, and I looked at him.
Did you touch him?
No, I didn't even say anything to him because he was looking at his iPhone. He seemed pretty busy. Also, I'm not that huge.
He was playing Civilization Revolution on his iPhone.
Let's assume so.
Yeah.
What was his high score? What is that face?
I don't know.
It means that Chris knows what Sid Meier's high score on Civilization Revolution is.
It's true.
He got 70,000.
And
he wrote me a letter.
Telling.
He wrote, "Dear Sid Meier, I love Civilization."
He wrote me a letter with his high score.
Oh, he wrote you back after you wrote him saying, "What is your high score?"
Yeah, I did that.
My mom told me to write you a letter because I love your game so much.
Oh my god, we got an awesome.
I probably would have written Sid Meier a letter as a kid.
Chocolate on myself.
We got an awesome letter. We sometimes get actual physical letters, and we got this awesome letter from like a 11-year-old kid or something like that.
Yeah.
Who had played our game, and he sent us sketches on notebook paper of ideas for new types of Big Daddies.
Right.
And they were super badass.
That's awesome.
There's one called the Diamond Daddy, which was made out of the hardest material on Earth, diamond.
Yeah.
So made him really strong. There's also something called a Big Devil Daddy with 2 L's on devil.
Like DeVille?
No, like devil, but
Okay.
with 2 L's because that's, doesn't know how to spell devil. And
He's super devilish.
yeah, and it had horns and he had fire around his hands. One of them had like his head emitted bees, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
man!
There
So
was-
they just changed the body part that emits bees.
Yeah, well,
That's
yeah.
great.
And there were ones that like had force fields and stuff. There was like a half a dozen or a dozen of them. They're amazing. So getting fan mail and fan art from a small child that's super psyched on your game that never should have been playing your game in the first place
Right.
is
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
We get a lot of letters from
Very
prisons.
permissive children. You get
Or
letters from
prisoners,
prisons?
I should say.
You do?
Well, not me specifically, but our staff.
Oh, wait, Gama Sutra.
Yeah.
I thought you meant questions at idlethumbs.net.
Right.
Also that.
Dear Chris, love the cast. Where is the next song? Make the bird noise.
On a handwritten letter.
Like
Yeah.
on toilet paper.
Yeah.
It's hard to get an iPod into jail, but I did it to listen to you.
Sweet.
You don't want to know some of the things I've done while listening to your voice. Signed, Prisoner. 3878572.
You're right, I don't.
You guys want to talk about Halo? So I heard that you play as Master Chief in this Halo game.
I was at Jack in the Box and I had it was something really stupid sounding. It was taco nachos.
Taco nachos. I've never heard of that.
That's because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, they were basically like they were basically just like really thin squishes of
That hand gesture does not explain
of ground. Well, it was just like a really thin
was just
layer.
like-
it was like a really thin layer of ground beef with like fried thin nacho encasing it. and then served like nachos with gross nacho cheese on them and stuff. So it was basically just nacho chips that were filled with a really thin layer of beef inside them, and it was awful and hilarious.
Nice. Sounds great.
I ordered it because of the name.
Success.
Laugh value.
Somebody has succeeded.
Guess what I ate today, guys?
Nachos.
Taco nachos.
And
tacos.
tacos.
If we would have combined our assumptions, we would have been correct.
Yeah.
I had to combine my assumptions. A taco and a nacho. Only one game would allow me to piece that puzzle together.
Scribblenauts.
Nice.
A little more frustrated with that one.
Did you write a word?
I did write a bunch of words.
What happened then?
In many cases, nothing. Sadly, this is like, I don't know. I feel like in the end, this game suffered from one of the two problems it could have suffered from. One of which being they didn't put enough words in there, which is not the case.
Yeah.
The other being they didn't put enough interactions in there, which I think is the case.
Or enough being able to control things.
That also, but I can deal with that. I would be able to better deal with that if I felt like when a very obvious interaction should work. And I know that, you know, there are almost an infinite number of obvious interactions, but when I've got a bee flying around that I have to get rid of, and then I have a beekeeper and I give him a net, and I'm like, come on, man. When it's more effective to shoot the bee with a soldier than to use a beekeeper, like, that's funny, but
also wrong.
It also gets a little old. Like a fisherman with a fishing pole won't catch a fish. Like, wow, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I spent
Sorry.
I don't know what to tell you.
20 minutes with that game.
A cooper with some wood and some metal will not make a barrel.
A cooper?
Yeah. A cooper. So I like a beekeeper, a fisherman.
Well, it's because it's because there's such direct examples. It's like I tried those exact things.
Make a fisherman, give him a fishing pole. He should probably catch that fish. Yeah. I think that makes sense. But I spent about 15 minutes with that game because, you know, one of my coworkers bought it and I just checked it out at his desk and I tried to type in. I tried to type
scoops.
I tried to type in like. Well, it was something.
My character
like,
took a poo.
It was something like idiosyncrasy. And,
oh God! Well, come on.
No. But I mean, I knew it wasn't going to do shit. But it gave me the you know, autocomplete. Like maybe you meant this. And one of them was idly, idly, the like, adverb. I guess.
Did you do it?
And I did it, and it gave me a little oval shaped biscuit.
Maybe that also means like something else.
Yeah.
Because they put sambo in there, and that I guess is like some sort of melon, word for a Spanish melon.
Yeah. Yeah. So my main experience was I created an idly, nice. And I think I distracted a dog with it, and then I dug down through the sand to reach a crate, which contained a wasp, which killed me. Then I stopped playing.
You found an underground wasp.
I found a wasp living inside a crate under the ground that killed me when I opened the crate because I was in a hole with it and couldn't get out.
Sweet.
And finished the level by failing and then didn't play it anymore. So it definitely seemed a little weird. There was definitely super weird, actually, because like in that same level, there was a shovel next to a dog. And the dog was totally chill.
Shoot and bury the dog.
Until you picked up the shovel. And then the dog got super pissed off, so I guess it was the dog's shovel. So then I just typed in the word shovel and gave it to myself. And I don't know what the hell was supposed to be going on there. It seemed like a kind of confusing, weird thing.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that I think is understandable why it demoed so well for people.
Yeah.
Because if you're sort of just... you're...
If you want to type in Tyrannosaurus Rex and Keyboard Cat and Kraken and then...
And have them fight or whatever, then
write a joystick blog post about it.
Right.
That's completely feasible.
Exactly, yeah. And it's often hilarious. I mean, a lot of the stuff... I think I have had a lot of really awesome, cool interactions in that game.
Yeah.
But since the actual game demands you to complete very specific tasks...
Yeah.
And a lot of times the game has pretty different ideas like about how to complete those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hopefully they make another Scribblenauts game.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of just hope they do it again and just, you know, take their existing like data set and engine and just make it way more crazy.
Sort of like Scribblenauts Adventures.
ODST.
Like Scribblenauts ODST.
Yeah. In this one, you don't play the Master Chief.
But if you type in ODST, you get a cup of tea.
That's true. A nasty one.
I looked up what an idly is, and it's a savory cake popular in South India.
There you go.
Man.
See?
Well, sweet.
As noted, I thought it was some kind of biscuit.
So
I guess I was right.
This is the Idly Thumbs podcast.
The biscuit was dry as a pharaoh's tomb. As I chewed it, I mulled the pieces over in my mind. Scribblenauts? Psychonauts? No, it's got to be Policenauts.
What's going on with you, Steve?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Me.
You,
Speaking
Steve.
of knots, you've been playing a police knots.
That's true. Good chortling.
Yeah.
It was semi ironic and stupid because for I guess a number of years, like it seems like a couple of years at least, I had found out that there was a group of guys who were attempting to do a fan translation of Policenauts, which is the Hideo Kojima game that came out between Snatcher and Metal Gear Solid that was never, released in anywhere outside Japan. And it is pretty much like Snatcher. It's like a, kind of text graphical adventure game thing with a lot of dialogue, and you go through a lot of dialogue trees and stuff like that. And so, a couple of years ago, I guess, I found Policenauts.net, which is the site for these guys trying to do this thing, and had just sort of checked it every once in a while to see, are they actually going to release this? And went on their forum, and they had like a progress thread and everything. And it was like, it looks like they're getting really close. And I subscribed to their newsletter and everything. So as soon as they actually released this thing they'd been working on for years, I could find out about it without just randomly checking their site one day. And then a week ago, on my Eurogamer RSS feed, they have a review of Policenauts on their site. I'm like, what? What's that all about? And then in it, it's like the fan translation released August 24th that facilitated this review. I'm like, the fan translation has been out for like a month, and they didn't even send me a fucking newsletter about it. What is wrong with you guys?
Nice.
Like, why did I subscribe to your bullshit? I found out about it late, and at one point I was psyched about it. I actually bought off of eBay a Japanese copy of the game, and so you can just rip the ISO to your hard drive from the disc and patch that and play it through an emulator, which is what I'm doing.
Where do you get the patch?
From Policenauts.net.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like the latest version.
No. Yeah,
but it's a
the
console
fan
game,
translation is
I
a
forgot.
patch executable that just is applied to the
Got it.
ISO. And if you really want to be hardcore, then you burn that back to disk and play it on
Like a modded PS1.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And it's a fucking weird game.
Yeah.
It's really strange and cool in a lot of ways.
What is
and
a
also
Policenaut?
Kojima-y in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Kojima-esque.
A Policenaut, in this case, 2 out of 5 of them are just carbon copies of Mel Gibson and Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
So they don't
police
wear
knots
like
are police
space helmets or anything?
They're police that are in space. It's true.
They are in space.
Did you guys know anything about Snatcher at all?
Only the.
Have you seen screenshots of it and shit?
So I think I've seen some screenshots.
It's just a 100% ripoff of the Blade Runner universe. Like,
Oh, are these in the same series?
No, but I mean, they're the 2 games that Kojima made back to back.
No, I know, but yeah.
I don't think. Actually, I think maybe they are all supposed to take place in the same universe, because Meryl Silverberg from Metal Gear Solid is in Policenauts, and she was in Foxhound in Policenauts and everything. So apparently Metal Gear Solid and Policenauts take place on the same timeline. So anyway, Snatcher was just a carbon copy of Blade Runner, except with a like incompetent perverted idiot instead of Harrison Ford.
That's pretty awesome.
As the main character. Snatcher is pretty fucking good. Like, it's funny and weird, and I don't know, it's good, but like they literally took screen grabs from Blade Runner, like of the cylindrical police headquarters building, and just did a sprite overdraw of it. And like that one
classic maneuver
picture from inside the cockpit of like Harrison Ford driving his hover car, they just drew over it with their main character. Like it's really blatant. And it's the same thing here. They just your main guy is a youngish white guy with a mullet who looks kind of like Mel Gibson, and his partner is an older black guy with thinning hair that is too old for this shit. Right. It takes place in like...
But it's in space.
Yeah, it takes place in like 2050 or something like that.
Sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah. I mean, it's like take the Lethal Weapon thing, but make it in Kojima's nerdy-ass space sci-fi cyberpunk universe. So yeah, the basic thing is that there's this big space station that's orbiting Earth called Beyond Coast, and it's sort of that's Japanese Kojima. People don't know what English words are.
You gotta call it Beyond Coast.
Yeah, Outer Moses. And so when it was first being constructed, they had 5 prominent police officers from Earth be trained to go up to the space station and keep order. Like
they are the Policenauts.
They are the Policenauts. And the guy you play as was working, doing a spacewalk and like got disconnected and floated out into space. Like it was like 2001, he was sort of ejected out into space by the pressure of his own suit. But it was equipped with like a survival ball, quote unquote, which is basically just a really small life pod that has cryo stuff in it. And so you were frozen for 25 years before you were recovered. And so that's why you are 25 years younger than your partner who was the same age as you when you were frozen. And so it's a whole it is, I mean, it's a fairly...
That's so funny. That reminds me so much of Metal Gear Solid 4, how it's like you're not actually an old guy. What you are is a guy with some kind of nanovirus that looks really old.
Well, I mean, it's like
and like acts old.
There's stuff that is interesting about the premise. Like it's not new to sci-fi or anything, but like you were frozen for 25 years.
25 years is a good number.
Yeah. Because then you come back like, and
everyone's still around.
Everyone's still around, but they're older, and you don't really have a job or anything anymore. So, like, at the beginning, you ended up back on the surface of Earth, and it's in old Blade Runner LA that's all run down and stuff, and you're like a private eye. And your wife, from before you got ejected out into space and were gone for 25 years, comes looking for help from you to find her now new husband.
Not knowing that you were him?
No, she knows, but... For you, it feels like 2 years have passed, but now she's 50, and you still are in whatever the body and mindset of a 27-year-old guy. And so, like, yeah, you were gone, and now you came back, and things have progressed, and people have changed, and you're kind of dealing with that, and that's pretty cool. And it also is a pretty good excuse for, like, other characters to explain shit to you, because it's a player surrogate, and you don't know what a space station is or whatever. But also, it's filled with Kojima mega perviness, and
I saw your post on Twitter about that.
I touched a space boob.
Nice.
I did, and it made a sproing sound.
What, it actually says sproing, or it sounds like sproing?
Sound.
Make the sound.
No, you can find this on the internet. It sounds like a cartoon spring.
All right, like
but it's funny because. Yeah, it's so pervy that it gets really predictable, to the point where if you can't be pervy towards someone, it's like a clue, basically.
Right.
Like, every woman you encounter is a, whatever, anime, pinup, sexy cartoon lady. And you have a cursor and you can look at stuff, and there's hotspots all over the screen. And anytime you're talking to one of these women, you can look at the boob area and he'll say something about it. And once you've done that, if you click it again, it gives you the interaction option, which is touch, at which point you do it, and it does an animation of the boobs like going like boing, and it makes that sound. And that's ta-da! Video games. 1994 Japanese video games that were never released in the States, possibly for a reason. And so there's this one female character who, this was my train of thought. I went back to, her, where you meet her, and was clicking around and stuff. And I was like, wait, you can't be a total pervert towards her. Like, you can be a total pervert towards your partner's high school age daughter, like in front of him, and just shit like that. And then there's this one character who there's no other good reason that you shouldn't be able to just be generic pervert towards her. I'm like, you don't have those interactions. Then I'm like, oh, wait, I was frozen for 25 years, and it's been 2 years, so that's 27 years ago, and this woman is the 27-year-old daughter of my ex-wife, theoretically from someone else, but I get it, so I can't be a pervert towards her because it's going to turn out she's my daughter. Right. But, like, that was the clue. So, yeah. hilarious.
Also, that reminds me real quick of a statement made by the lead designer or someone at Obsidian talking about Alpha Protocol. I guess there was some leaked Sony document that came out this week in which
talking
one
about
of
how
the
it wasn't really an RPG or something like that.
And the guy responded and he said, "Well, I don't know how much of this game this guy played, but this is clearly like completely an RPG." Also, like, and he listed off a bunch of facets of the game, and then
I
and
saw
you can
that.
interact with, and then parentheses, or kill / sleep with like any NPC in the game. It's like, wow,
Yes.
okay, well, there's it.
Yeah, it was
Ta-da.
interact and then parentheses to define what interact means. Those
Kill
two
/
verbs.
sleep with. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I guess that game is targeted towards males.
Male humans.
Yeah.
Things without 2 X chromosomes. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I don't know. I get the impression it's kind of like it was kind of expected out of a like visual novel of that time, because like so many of them I think are like the dating sexualized games that like if you're going to make a visual novel it has to have some kind of sexual titillation weirdness to it or something. Maybe also that's just an excuse and Kojima likes to touch space boobs it's
a pastime.
But like aside from that stuff, which is actually kind of obnoxious, the thing that's really cool about it is that since it's this visual novel and it's like 95% text, like that's what's interesting about it from a fan translation point of view, is they must have translated tens of thousands of words of dialogue, which is kind of amazing. But also you can just like the world building can be really dense, because it's not real time or anything. So you can like click on this little newspaper article in the corner. It can tell you all this shit about the history of this world that Kojima made up, and you can really explore like, how does this future world work? You click on a pack of cigarettes and it talks about weird, like biodegradable smokeless technology they use in cigarettes that like you would never see that kind of world detail in a different type of game that has to be more immediate.
You have to push you along a little more. Yeah, right.
So that aspect of it is really cool, just exploring this weird place and finding out about it.
Obviously, you as someone who doesn't speak Japanese, I mean, you can't speak to the sort of authenticity of the translation, but does it read well? I mean, is it?
It does.
Yeah.
It's a really well done. That's the other thing that's impressive about it is it's a really well done translation. Like, seems like they could totally, if they'd released this on PSN or something, I wouldn't have thought it. It seems like a professional job. There's a couple of places that it's a little bit more sweary than I think it would be, if it were professional. And also there's a couple of places where it seems like they probably had a bunch of guys working on it, and some of them had a little less restraint because there have been a couple of points where there's been kind of internet-y phrasing, like
it's the worst.
Like there was one part where you're like chasing a guy in your squad car and like you corner him or something, and your main character says like, and God decreed, let there be win.
What?
which is like
doesn't need to be there.
No, which is like a standout, completely incongruous line with the rest of the translation, which there's like nothing like
Does
that.
Does Nintendo still do that? Because they're
all over that these days.
Yeah, I'm starting with the GameCube era. It seemed like Nintendo just got all about having like one novelty character who speaks in like weird lolcats speak or that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and the weird thing about it is that like I'm thinking of it. Like, when I'm playing it, I'm thinking of it in terms of being, like, a product of 1994 to the point where it doesn't just seem stupid, it seems anachronistic.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Anachronistic.
Yeah,
because it's like,
it seems
wait,
odious.
something that stupid thing specifically didn't even exist in the time that it's supposed to be translated from. It would be like putting that into a translation of, like, a 60s kung fu movie or something, Like, I don't know. So, it's weird, but, yeah, the other 98.5% of the translation is really well done, like impressively so.
I'm curious to check that out. I did not know much about this game other than that he made it, and
it's worth doing, and it shows some of his like sort of that he did both some of his like Kojima's nerdy interests. Like there's this whole like space flight museum, and since in the format you can actually click on all of the different exhibits and stuff, and it's basically just like little miniature encyclopedia articles about the different Apollo programs and like all this stuff about actual history of space flight. I don't know, there's some cool stuff about it. Also, I've played it for like 7 hours, all text, like it's almost entirely dialogue, and this is a 2-disc game, and I'm not even off of the first disc, so
Ridiculous.
It's also like,
and there's not very much animation, I would think, right?
There's a fair number of
boing.
there was
true.
a sproing,
yeah,
a number of different sproings. But no, they did a bunch of like hand drawn cell animation, like anime cutscenes that stream as videos.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, in gameplay, you're mostly looking at static screens,
right?
Yeah. So it's a weird, cool, interesting thing that a bunch of dudes just did and released, and I think that's really kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's impressive
and surprising. Yeah, and it fills in kind of a gap in if you kind of wanted to play all of Kojima's games. That was the only major one that had never been put into English,
right?
You know, so pretty great.
Cool.
Congratulations to those guys. Go to policenauts.net and check it out if you're interested.
Do you know if Konami has sort of like shaken their fist at all, or
they've had plenty of time to order a cease and desist, and I haven't heard anything about one. So yeah.
Sweet,
yeah,
good for those guys.
Maybe Kojima sort of stayed their hand. No, let them go.
I'm just picturing Kojima just like reaching over and lowering the gun of the Konami sharpshooter as they run off into the distance.
Yeah,
sort of papers containing translated dialogue fluttering away out of their suitcases or whatever.
The Salacious Crumb cackles on his shoulder.
Right, he's there. Why does he keep coming back?
I don't know. He's all over the place.
He's a henchman.
That's true.
That's what he does.
He's like a minion.
Sweet.
A crony.
You guys want to do some reader mail?
A toady.
I don't know. Do you?
I couldn't decide.
Reader mail.
No.
Let's see.
Starring Steve Gaynor, the best person on this podcast.
Oh, man.
Also, some other dudes. I think they make magazines about video games or something.
Probably, it's what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Daniel writes,
"Oh,
you guys still doing dream analysis? Sure.
Yeah.
There was some kind of baddie warning me that if I didn't take care of the traps he had laid along a path I was about to go through in this darkened building I was in on my way out of into a crowded city center."
Whoa.
Wow, that was a lot of modifiers. I would be responsible for the deaths.
That door a few times.
I would be responsible for the deaths of everyone there. Being in a dream, I didn't realize what the hell was going on, so I just walked out through the section and went outside. Then there was a cut. Why is my dream cutting to something anyway? To back inside the building, and something I can only describe as one of those hoodlums hopped up on Venom from Arkham Asylum came down the same path. He reached the first of what I later recognized as 3 points where something I was supposed to have done something about was lying, and then the scene got back to outside. This is impenetrable.
Are you sure that somebody wrote this in English?
He was dreaming while writing this email.
Then the dream cut back to the baddie. I want to say he looked like Scarecrow in Arkham Asylum. And I noticed he was holding something that looked like a Whopper from Burger King.
This is getting good now.
It was actually the king. It was the sneak king.
Oh, okay. He had placed 3 of them, and once I was in a position to do something about them this time, I removed all 3 and put them somewhere else in the building. What's going on here? Off of the path of the Venom bad guy. Then I went outside, where I found a number of people fleeing the scene on foot and in vehicles. They were all headed to some kind of wide-mouthed tunnel entrance, but there was a stoppage inside there.
This is sounding like Gordon Freeman's brother. You know?
Yeah, right. Full life consequences.
Yeah. Then the zombie ghosts.
Right. Some folks there were slowing the pack down, and I noticed there was a large, by large I mean bigger than the other vehicles, pickup truck that had stopped and was blocking the path. People had started to get out and walk. There wasn't panic, just a lot of people trying to get somewhere. I woke up sometime around then, but I had one last memory from the dream. A group of people in the crowd were trying to figure out how they were going to feed the 6 of them with 3 sandwiches when they needed 12 sandwiches for 2 meals for all of them. It's Sunday morning as I write this.
That became an algebra problem at the end.
You guys think maybe I should get something to eat? Daniel.
My dream analysis, I think he should get something to eat.
All right.
Possibly 2 burgers for 2 meals for himself.
Well, there's that.
Dude,
sorted.
I had a weird dream about a video game. I wrote a blog about it, but nobody reads my blog. Did you
I didn't see your blog post.
Well, I told it to Chris before, but it's a pretty good, horrible, creepy video game dream. So it was right before I woke up one morning, I guess, and I had a dream where I knew I was playing a game on a video game console, but it took place like I was seeing, from the character's point of view in the game. So it was like
virtual reality.
No, it was like I was supposed to be playing like an Xbox game, but I wasn't looking at a screen. I was, seeing from my character's perspective, but I knew I was actually the guy holding a controller. So it took place on like this alien kind of like Serengeti plain, kind of a yellow grassy plain, and Far Cry 2. Shh, don't spoil it. And there were there was like this pack of grazing creatures out there, kind of alien prey animals. They were sort of like giraffe-ish. They kind of reminded me of the Musculosauruses from Xenoclash, but smaller, kind of llama-sized. And so they were just kind of minding their own business.
Nice.
And it was in first person, so I couldn't see myself, but I knew I was like a predator animal, like some sort of like
the predator,
like no, like a panther or something, some sort of like
like a
carnivorous
big cat.
Yeah, but all alien creatures, and so like
so it was the story of a carnivorous cat who was launched into space.
No,
like by the Soviets.
We were native to these.
Oh, you were an indigenous cat.
Yeah. So I'm this predator creature, and there's this pack of prey animals, and I kind of pick one that's kind of one of the bigger ones, and bear down on it, and in first person I jump on it and I'm biting it and stuff, and it's like it's kind of defenseless and I'm just biting on it, and because that's what you do, right? And then I realize, like, with the damage indicator that I start taking damage from the side. I look over to the side and I see it's one of the other prey creatures that's kind of like hitting me with its hooves, and I'm like, oh wait, that one's slightly bigger than this one, and it's really freaking out. That must be this one's mother, but I'm like, yeah, I did.
Oh,
like
God, I remember.
I did an attack towards it and just kind of like batted it away, because I actually have ability to attack things and they don't. And so when I did that, all the other ones scattered and kind of stood uncomfortably in a circle around me while I was kind of like continuing to feed on this one child animal. And then I look up from it again over towards the mother animal, who's kind of like standing 10 feet away or something, and it just says, "No, stop." and in my dream, I like dropped my game controller and I was like, oh, that's so horrible. And like, that was when I woke up. Jesus.
The worst game, also the best game.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Because I was shocked to learn that they had the power of speech, and that I had rendered a mother creature to the point of like pleading pathetically for the life of its child, and it was really
that's fucked up.
It was really unnerving. So that's how you make emotion in games.
A masterclass with Steve Gaynor.
From the subconscious of Steve Gaynor.
All right.
Comes
good job.
Video games.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Any more dreams? Any more Dreamcasts?
We might. I don't know. Corey Butler writes in about a project he's currently undertaking. He says, "Hey guys, I'm going to be starting a quest to complete the best games from the second half of this decade, and I was hoping you guys would mention it on your Podblast."
Okay.
So at quicksaved.com, this guy's trying to play through 45 PC games in 30 days. Or no, I'm sorry, the other way around. 30 PC games in 45 days. So he's got a day and a half each, basically.
Depends what he wants to play, but that could be pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think so far he's played through the first Brothers in Arms game, the second Freedom Force game, and maybe something else. I don't know.
Played the
But
second
he'll be switching over to like Solitaire, the Vista version of Solitaire.
Well, he says, Remo, you'll notice there's Far Cry 2 on that list. Your 6 episodes of Idle Thumbs dedicated to praising it really influenced my decision to put it on there. Also, Sam and Max for Mr. Rodkin / Big Bird. Thanks, bros. Corey. So,
you should be playing Sam and Max because it's one of the best LucasArts adventures, not because of Big Bird.
I think he actually has Sam and Max episodes 1 and 2 on it.
He's talking about the new ones because they're from this decade.
Oh, that's right. This isn't just games. This is recent games.
Yeah.
Word up.
It's cool.
Yeah, so...
But he should also play Sam Max Hit the Road because of Big Bird.
So you go to quicksave.com and you track his progress as he plays.
Jake's
some
bristling
games.
here.
I'm not Big Bird.
Why don't you publish a book about it like Leonard Nimoy did?
Did he make a book called I'm Not Big Bird?
He made one called I Am Not Spock.
Oh, did he?
Well,
that's like his famous book that he
I never
wrote in
played
the
Big
70s
Bird
after.
on television.
Everybody thinks you're Big Bird, though.
That's true.
That's why you should write a book saying you're not Big Bird, because you never played Big Bird on television.
Because you're not.
I'll interview the real Big Bird.
So check out that this guy is playing some video games on his website.
Yeah, he's posting also his thoughts about them as he does it.
That's cool. All right. Good for him.
All right. So
Good
Will
for us
M.
for reading it.
writes, "Hey Thumbs, I was walking through a Best Buy the other day and I saw this. Thought I would share. Good luck, have fun." So it's a picture of a game called Cabela's Monster Bass, except there's a sticker over the B, so it says Monster Ass. Nice. So there you go. It's
classic.
I know.
Let's post that on your blog.
Maybe I will.
Very
I'll
good.
probably post it on the Facebook page. Actually.
I looked at that as, what is... Oh, and then I laughed like an idiot after the... sort of, I understand his... Okay. And then it was really funny, actually, and I'm stupid. True story.
Putting stickers over the things to make them say other things.
I know.
Classic, yeah.
Have you seen
classic.
that? It's a faked cover, but someone took... it's a photoshopping of a hypothetical cover for Parents magazine, but like someone's head obscures just the right letter and there's a dot over something else and it turns into penis in the most amazing way that looks like the actual sort of horrible magazine trend of just faces obscuring the logo and the sort of sticker with the corner folded over effect.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite weird commentary on stupidness of magazine design.
Nice.
Because it says penis.
Of course.
I understood that.
Ryan Z. Bone, which is a pretty amazing name.
Do you think it's real?
I hope it's real.
Right.
My dreams will be crushed if not, so don't tell me if so.
Odious Tea, right?
Scoops, greeting Thumbs, where have all the hot scoops gone? Or Hot Scoops himself, what's going on with the scoops? Regards, Ryan Bone.
We've delivered scoops!
Here he fucking is.
Hold on, wait 1 second. Ryan, the Masters of Idle Thumbs received your letter, and they invited me to be on the show specifically to address your concerns.
So can we go down these point by point here? So
yeah, let's address his concerns. What was the first one?
Where have all the hot scoops gone?
Well, I've been working a lot.
You're answering the second question.
Where have they gone? Well,
these are just he's asking about lowercase.
Oh, myself. I'm
where
sorry.
have the hot scoops gone?
I'm sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to fuck this up for you. The hot scoops that I deliver have been offloaded to our hosts here because whenever I have a hot scoop, I've been sure to pass it along to Chris and Jake so they can mention it on the show. Yeah. So I'm sorry I couldn't be here in person.
They're here by proxy.
Yeah.
Sort of a proxy scoop.
His second question, how about Hot Scoops himself?
Okay, so going back to my prior point, I'm sorry. I've been in the 2K Marin offices working on BioShock 2 a lot, but we're making good progress, and I hope to have more time for podcasts very soon.
Yeah, there you go. Finally, what's going on with the scoops?
Well, these days, let's see. I went to a wedding last weekend. And now I'm on this podcast and it's really great. Thanks for your letter, Ryan, and thanks for reminding these guys they need to invite me back.
Okay.
Next.
Well, there you go. Regards, Ryan Bone. Well, that's good. We knocked him down right there. Set him up and knocked him down. Justin Herberger writes, Fishball, but writes, dudes, a few weeks ago you had some guy in your cast talking about how great Animal Crossing was. That would be Ron Gilbert. It inspired me to revisit...
Some asshole.
It inspired me to revisit my old Animal Crossing town on the GameCube.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
It was really fun. Well, he disagrees.
Well, no, I mean, because that place is going to... That place is going to have about 8,000 weeds in it. All the animals will be gone and sad, and there'll be nothing but roaches.
Well... it's what you do.
Was that the case?
It's not what he describes.
There are weeds everywhere. Everyone was gone and sad, and there was nothing but roaches.
It was really fun to go around and check out all the crazy shit I had done so long ago. According to a goat, it had been 47 months since I last played the game. Wow, that's a long goddamn time. After the goat stopped talking, I quickly chose the dialogue ending option so I could carry on. And then I realized that would be really sad if someone you hadn't talked to in nearly 4 years had nothing to say to you, and it made me feel bad. Wow, that's an amazing observation. I really like that. Yeah. Anyway, I encourage you guys to check out your old Animal Crossing games. It was like opening a time capsule of wasted time. Fishbulb.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, yeah.
That poor goat was snubbed.
Yeah. Animal Crossing has weirdly been one of the games that has made me feel the worst and saddest at a couple of times because they did a good job of making it seem like you really made a poor, innocent, happy animal feel really sad if you do something mean. Like, there's this one animal that you have a net and you can hit the other animals with a net.
Right, yeah.
And I hit it and it was like, stop hitting me with that net. And I hit it again and it was like, come on, I can't, why do you keep hitting me with that net? And then I hit it with the net the third time and it was like, why are you so mean to me? I feel really sad. And then it started crying and ran away. And I was like, Jesus, I'm sorry.
You're just a fake video game animal.
Yeah, like
You can take it.
But it was really strange, and I felt like a horrible person for making the animal cry.
Did you
and
write them a letter filled with sort of happy apologetic
And I
words?
tried to talk to it again, and it just refused to talk to me.
Wow.
So I sympathize with that reader.
Yeah. Animal Crossing.
You would have hit that goat with a net.
Animal Crossing is a really good game. I would have talked to that goat for a long time.
Yeah. You have something to say after 2 years.
Actually, the depressing thing about it is they say, like, you've been gone for 47 months. And then you talk to them once more, and they're like, so here's a generic thing that I said
Right.
47 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh.
This guy's story was better. Okay, so Chris, let's see here.
Ramo.
Chris Daniel writes,
Oh.
Hi, Thumbs. Oh, this is a good email. I heard your that was my commentary. I heard your pod
Hey,
blast
Thumbs.
about
Oh, this is a good email.
Get ready for a good one. I heard your pod blast about the Fire Guy game and thought I should inform you that the Firefighter game is not a dead market. It's just that the games of that genre cost far more than most gamers are willing to pay. You see, my company, High Voltage Software, makers of great games you may have heard of, like The Conduit and The Grinder for the Wii, and games you probably haven't heard of, like Dora the Explorer, Dora Saves the Snow Princess, makes a firefighting game simulator called Flame Sim. While this game does not feature lifestyle training and RPG elements mentioned in the Fire Guy games, no Firehouse Chili, it does offer realistic fire response equipment, techniques, and procedures along with fire that spreads realistically and must be handled with extreme caution. It's about as close as you can get to being a firefighter while remaining in a climate-controlled environment. Unfortunately, since this is a product made for training and not general consumption, it talks about 25 times what your average video game costs. But if you really want a firefighter video game and you have $1,500 lying around collecting dust, you do have options. Just thought you guys might like to know. That's pretty rad.
Huh. So it's a training sim that they train firefighters with?
For some reason, I was expecting that email to transition into like the Fresh Prince of Bel Air opening monologue or something.
Right. All right. Well, this guy does continue. He says, and that's how. Love your show, guys. Please keep potting blasts and blasting pods. And to Jake, I understand your pain. I, too, am often mistaken for a man called Nick, and my twin brother, and I know the pain of working in the most underappreciated part of game development, UI. I'll admit that no one has ever mistaken me for Big Bird, but I've been compared to Oscar the Grouch on occasion. Take that as you will. Thanks for being awesome, guys. Sincerely, Chris. So
Thanks, Chris.
P.S. In West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is where I spent most of my days.
Oh, man, how did you know he said that?
Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, and all shooting some people outside the school.
Yeah? Is that all that happened to you?
Well, then a couple of guys that are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood.
Did they really?
Yeah, I got in one little fight and my mom got scared.
Oh, that
She said,
sucks.
You moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air?
Well, that's a long way away.
Yeah. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh, and there were dice in the mirror.
Oh, man.
All right, Chris. There were dice in the mirror.
Were there really?
But I trusted this cabbie to drive me all the way across the country.
3,000 miles to Bel Air.
To California.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was fresh, and so are you.
Right.
You could tell because of his license plate.
Wait. There were dice in the mirror. Yeah. I mean, if anything, I thought that this cab was rare, but I said, right. Yo, homes to Bel Air.
Right.
There was a musical interlude while we drove.
A long one, I would think.
Yeah. Then we pulled up to the house about 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo, home, smell you later."
Man, after that whole trip, that's all you. I would feel bad.
I also gave him a tip, but I didn't
47
feel like
months
it was,
in a cab, and
I didn't feel like it was worth mentioning.
Okay. Yeah.
I looked at my kingdom and I was finally there.
Man.
I then proceeded to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel Air.
Great.
Boop. Ba-doop, doop, doop, doop.
It's a good story, dude.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
Like I was in high school, so I guess it was
before
like
I met you, I guess.
Yeah, it was like 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay.
Oh,
cool. That's fascinating. I never knew this about you,
I went to this private school, and I tended to turn my jacket inside out to show my individuality.
Nice. Sounds like a good plan.
That was right around the time Final Fantasy VII came out. I was really into it. You guys ever played any video games?
I'd played that one.
Anybody write a reader mail?
Sure. No, actually, I think we ran out.
What?
We definitely didn't run out, but I don't have any more marked.
Our supply has been exhausted.
Yeah.
We've completed this cast.
Yeah.
Eritrea is part of Africa. Somebody replied and said, sounds like talking about Far Cry 2.
What?
That got Chris's attention.
Awful.
That's Far Cry 2.
Excuse me.
What? Huh? Huh?
I believe I heard something quite interesting coming from your side of the TV.
I believe you mentioned Far Cry 2, the Clint Hawking masterpiece. Video game.
We can talk about how I'm kind of interested. Did you guys talk about the Brütal Legend demo last week?
Nope.
I haven't played it.
I haven't played it either, but that's kind of why I'm interested in it. And it'll be coming out tomorrow, so it would be for people who didn't pre-order
What is there? So
or
what,
get a code.
What would you broadly say?
I think it's an interesting marketing strategy they took to do the thing where it's like, yeah, you get a unique code if you pre-order to play the demo a week early. It was just like a possibly annoying but really effective way to build buzz for it, because like there were a bunch of contests to give out demo codes early, and like it made me want the demo more. It almost made me pre-order it from GameStop.com, but then I decided that would be silly and I didn't. But it's such a weird like incentive.
It's kind of a backwards thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you already bought the game? Now try the game.
But it makes sense, because it's like people that were going to pre-order it anyway, they just want a chance to play it early. But then for people that weren't even thinking about it that much, it makes buzz on a bunch of websites that are like, hey, you could play this sweet demo, and everybody gets.
And it also is instant gratification.
So we could talk about that.
We just did.
I thought we were. Oh no, these were on. Oh shit! Why did I tell you about that lobbyist that I slept with? You remember that guy?
I do remember that.
Yeah.
That you slept with?
Oh! That guy resigned the next day. The guy I slept with.
You ruined his career.
I always do. Metal Gear.
Man, speaking.
So I hear that as she attacks you more, the sperm floor rises.
I heard that too. Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know if I'm supposed to go anywhere with that. But that's pretty.
Is there more explaining what that actually is? There's actually just a.
I think it's in a video game.
So, but I mean, it's like, is it like the like lava rising up?
I believe so.
But it's just
Sperm.
Oh.
That's what happens in the Lost Circle of Hell.
There's just pools of semen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that explains so much. That's what I was missing this whole time.
There are also big penises and doors shaped like labia. And the final boss is a big naked lady that shoots angry babies out of her giant nipples at you.
What?
I'm not. Didn't you read the quotes?
Not very closely.
No.
They're 140 characters each.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Aren't you so
to
good at
read
reading?
10 words.
It is. It's hard for me.
Giant angry lady has giant naked boobs that have tongues that stick out of the nipples. Then the tongues retract, and angry attack babies fly out of the nipples to attack you as the sperm floor rises.
That's probably the grossest thing anyone's ever described to me.
There are also apparently, what's the word for them? There was some kind of word for angry naked ladies that approach you, unzip their torsos, which split open, and a 10-foot tentacle flies out of it, wraps around you, and attempts to pull you into their crotch.
Jesus.
Which you do a QTE to...
Right, of course.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. To grab the tentacle and swing them, smashing them into a wall.
Well, that's what you do in these games.
Well, it's based on a book, right?
Yeah, I heard it was a book.
So, I assume that they got it from there.
They pretty much, their hands are sort of tied into, what they can and can't include. I mean, it's there.
Right.
They're just putting it in the game.
Yeah.
So, sweet. Their hands are tied by a 10-foot tentacle that protrudes from a woman's like gaping abdomen.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Hello? What? Who is this? Hello?
Dear 55 Wizard On, I never thought I would be calling you. I'm a student at a small Midwestern college. Well, I had an idea for a Boss Idle Thumbs shirt. It has a wizard on the back, you know, white beard, pointy hat and staff and spellbook, all that. His staff has a crystal in the top of it, but it's not really a crystal, it's an LED. The stronger the Wi-Fi signal where you are, the brighter his rot glows. Also, the front of his shirt says Wizard on it. It might have to be an extra, extra, extra large shirt so you have room for all those A's. Baboo! Goodbye.
Hello, I'm Batman. I was told I could reach the wizard here. Is that this is the right number, right? I mean, the wizard. The wizard. Yeah. Oh, God damn it. It's video games Rodkin, my arch nemesis. I gotta go. I'm Batman.
Hey guys, it's Steve in Detroit. I know a lot of people have trouble telling you guys apart. My quick shorthand is that Chris has got the deeper voice, and then Jake and Nick, I know they have the same timbre of voice, but Jake's got an accent, at least to somebody here in the Midwest, like me, has the same accent as Chris, whereas Nick has no accent, at least no perceptible accent, to a guy like me from Detroit. So there you go. I know it's going to help everybody out a lot. It's certainly helped me out. All right, Wizard. Bye.
How the hell can you go on 5 to 20 minutes on a firefighter game some guy came up with and totally ignore the fact that I wrote you an email about EA using the same engine for 90 years and we've been playing the same crap with different graphics and mixed game mechanics? Oh, I'm in the middle of a Walmart parking lot doing my security job at 2 a.m. in the morning full of rage. Rage!